Hello and good morning, everyone. It's V here, and you already know it's V of Insight to Marketing. If it's the first time you are seeing me, actually, I should mention I'm a branding and marketing coach, consultant, trainer, and speaker. And I'm also the author of the Majestic Marketing Planner, which is your ultimate guide to actually getting organized when it comes to building your brand, fixing out a budget for the month, year, or quarter, and then actually having a plan where you can use online and offline tactics to get the best results for your business. So I just wanted to come on this morning and speak to a few of you, and I'm hoping that my Wi-Fi will behave itself. I have had a really good week so far. Some of you may have seen my video yesterday in the evening, and I'm here today because I just want to have a conversation with some of you around the importance of progress and the importance of also managing our own expectations. And I actually did a post earlier around this, which some of you may or may not have seen, and I was really being quite honest about my own journey in trying to, grow my business, in trying to kind of, I guess, face reality and trying to recognize what I would need to do in my business to actually get results. But as part of my journey, what I didn't actually factor in was that I perhaps was being a bit too ambitious, because I was expecting to see results and I was expecting to see change. But yet I wasn't actually doing what I needed to do wholeheartedly. And by that, I mean looking at how I was spending my time and looking how I was spending my money. Now, I know that for many of us, just like when I started my business, money is a challenge. In fact, time is a challenge for a lot of us, because obviously we don't have lots of time on our hand. It's not easy, is it? Come on, let's be honest. Morning, Angela. It's not easy trying to do everything, more than one hat. I know a lot of my connections and colleagues have got several businesses. I know a few of us have got family that we care for. Some of us don't even have 100% good health. And so trying to actually organize yourself and stay on top of your tasks whilst getting real results is a challenge. And let's be honest, it can be really challenging if you haven't got yourself together in terms of understanding what your priorities are, but also understanding where you fit into the puzzle. Now, I've spoken very recently about the bigger picture, right? And how the activities that you're doing need to be fitting into some kind of bigger picture. So if, for example, you have got a really cool idea to launch a book, or you want to launch a new online course, or perhaps you want to start doing events, that's the big picture, right? That's the big picture. And as business owners, we need to manage our progress and manage our own expectations in appreciating and understanding, hey, Debbie, what we need to do to launch that event, what we need to do to, create that book and then publish it, what we need to do to facilitate an online program, all the work that's involved in promoting it, and so on. But what happens is we're so infused, right, to actually get this thing going, to launch this book, to get it published, to get it out there, that we don't always think about the priorities. We don't always think about the plan. We don't always think about how our brand's going to show up, how we're going to monitor our results, how we're going to actually see what we're doing at different stages of the project. Now, I'm calling it a project because if you're going to do events, or you're doing events already, even if you're doing a marketing campaign, as in you've got more than one platform that you're using to try and get the same objective, i.e. generate more sales, build awareness of your new website, get more people to, book appointments with you, that would be as part of a campaign. That's a number of activities, online and offline, and you choose what they might be, to get one common goal, to fit into that bigger picture. Now, what we forget is, as entrepreneurs, the goals that we set ourselves need to be delivered. We, as our own resource, especially if you're in your own business on your own, we need to be clear that actually we're not going to be able to do that much unless we actually understand what's involved, what it actually entails to do the event, to launch the book. Okay. And I think what happens for a lot of us is that we don't manage our own expectations, because we assume that we can do it all on our own. We assume that we can, do that event. We assume that we can launch that course without really thinking through the resources we need. Okay. So I'm just going to say again, good morning to those of you that are just watching live now. I'm talking this morning about progress so far. And the question I really want to ask all of you, whether you watch live or on the replay, and I just want to check my visuals are looking okay, is how are you doing so far this year? Because obviously it's January now, we're going into February, literally 2-3 days time. How do you feel you've done so far? Is it something you could have, done differently so far? Good morning, Uchenna. How you doing, Uchenna? Is it something you could have done differently so far? Is there something you wished you'd done so far this month? Is it perhaps something that you feel that you could have done better or more of, that you didn't have time? Because what's important is that we understand as entrepreneurs that it's important to review our progress. Okay, if you're still watching with me, please do put the word progress in the comments box for me. It is very important as entrepreneurs that we understand that we have to be making progress, and whether it's small progress, as in, you know, baby steps, or whether it's really big progress, as in, you know, you're making huge progress because you're consistently taking action, you're consistently monitoring what you're doing. All progress is still progress. Okay, but what we're not doing as entrepreneurs, okay, and I was guilty of this myself when I started my business, is we're not managing our own expectations. So we almost expect there to be this, you know, overnight success. Yes, we've done the book, now we want everyone to buy it. Yes, we've launched our online course, now everybody needs to order. Okay, what we need to do more of as we approach February is evaluate, is to look at what we've done so far, what we need to do differently, okay, what we can develop on, and perhaps what we can put aside and not prioritize right now. Because the other thing is, when we monitor our progress, we need to be clear on what we're doing that really is important, and perhaps what we're doing that isn't so important. All right, so thank you for putting the word progress in. Uchenna says, I've achieved one major milestone and I have the rest of the year planned out. Good. I've set milestones for each month. Fantastic. And there are many of us that aren't as organized as each other, which is fine. Hence why I'm coming on live now. So if you're watching the live and you feel like perhaps your progress isn't where it should be, perhaps you feel like, okay, it's January, I should have seen some results by now, you know, I should have had this or that done by now. I want you to really think about what you could do differently for February, because obviously January's gone. There's no point beating yourself up about it. There's no point, you know, kicking yourself in the teeth if you literally haven't done all the things you set out to do. Because the other thing is, sometimes we can be too ambitious. Yeah. And some of you may be able to resonate with that. Sometimes we can be too ambitious, where we actually think that we can do this course, this event, this book all in 1 month. And so we don't set realistic timescales. We don't manage our own expectations. And the point I want to get across this morning is, if you're watching this now and you know that for next month you want to do bigger and better, you really want to qualify in which ways. You also want to document perhaps how you spent your time in January, so that you can change your behaviors and change your habits and start looking at working differently. And you also want to set out a plan. Okay, now I'm not for a second going to suggest you buy my planner. But what I am going to suggest is that if you don't have a plan or some kind of planning document or tool, or you don't use a calendar, you need to set goals. You need to make sure that you've got clarity on why you're doing certain tasks. I'm in an online community at the minute, and one of the questions that I asked was, you know, when you've been online today, you've been online, you've been on social media, some of you have been on social media for a lot of this morning. What was your objective of being on social media when you got up this morning? What was your objective of, you know, being on social media for the month of January? Did you have an objective? Did you have a goal? Did you have something that you wanted to do, and did you achieve that? Because I know that for a lot of us as entrepreneurs, good morning, Dawn, a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we spend a lot of time on social media, and I really want to emphasize the importance of scheduling. If you're someone that finds it really hard to stop yourself from posting, to stop yourself from scrolling, and perhaps you're not making the progress that you want, I don't mind, you know, helping you, you know, doing your 15-minute conversation. You can book in a call with me. I'll put in a link. But it's important that I drive this home to as many of you as possible. We need to get more focused and clearer on what we're doing. And in fact, when I did my masterclass at the weekend, one of the things that became apparent is that a lot of us are on social media and we really don't get why we are on social media. We don't get the objectives of being on social media. We don't have any monetary goals. We don't have any goals in terms of non-financials, as in making real connections, connecting with genuine people. So we're just wasting time. Okay. So I want to I want to have a better month in February. I really need to get clear on my goals. Then I would say to you to book in a complimentary consultation with me. Perhaps not for you, perhaps for someone else that you know needs the help. Let them know. Actually share this post if someone in your network might benefit from it. Because what I want for 2019 is for more of us to get clear and to be monitoring our progress, and to be actually understanding that in order to see change, we need to make change. And in order to see growth, we need to be investing in our own growth. So that means developing ourselves, investing in that free course. And I mean time, investing our time to actually complete the course, and then investing the time to actually implement it, whether you've paid for it or not. Okay? We need to make sure that in order to get progress, we are eliminating distractions. That we've got tools like my Insight to Marketing Planner to keep us on track weekly and daily, so that we know what we're spending, what we're doing when it comes to our well-being, our mindset, our sales goals, our budgeting. Okay? This is my desire for many of you this year in 2019. So I'm going to leave you now. If you need to speak to me, do message me directly on the Insight to Marketing page. Okay? The Insight to Marketing page is the word insight, the number 2, and then marketing. So you can message me directly there and I'll reply back to you. But I just want to encourage any of you, perhaps you didn't make the progress you wanted in 2019 for January so far. There is still room for growth. There is still room for change. All right. So I'm going to leave you here at this point with the reminder that if you're on social media today, ask yourself, what are your goals? Write them down. Have you actually set yourself any goals? What is it you need to be doing on your business page? What is it you need to be doing when it comes to making new connections? Who are you going to speak to? How are you going to be more strategic and make best use of your time? Because your progress relies on your commitment to actually, get results and see success, as however you define that. So have a great Tuesday, and I shall speak to you soon. All right, bye.